Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com, and today is not Wednesday. It is Tuesday, January 25th. Normally I'm live on Wednesdays. Do you like this? Isn't this a cute calendar? I got this from Doris Walker and she did such a great job. Oh my gosh, isn't that it's beautiful, isn't it? Anyways, I just had to show it off. So yeah, January 25th. It's a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. Welcome to all of you who are live with us right now, and a big welcome to all of you who are here after the live. Please comment in the appropriate place, whether you're live or whether you're watching the recording. It is going to be a fun day. I'm going to share with you lots of samples using some rainbow products. And these rainbow products are one of my favorite sets of products from the new collection of items in our two publications. So I hope that you enjoy what I share. I've got a card that I haven't shared yet publicly. The other cards you may have seen if you were part of the virtual tour, and we can talk about that later on. And so, but I've got even more. I've got a couple swaps that I received that are using some of these products, and then a card that I made based on a mistake that I had done. So lots of samples, and of course we're going to do a card together. So let's first start with comments from last week. If you are a commenter, you get entered into a prize drawing. Let me switch to that computer screen here. Oops, hang on. There we go. And so all of these people last week were live commenters, and they all got entered into a prize drawing, which we did at the end of the live. So if you're commenting during the live, Miss Trisha Josephs, who is our moderator, is going to put your name into this random drawing, and she picks two winners towards the end. So a big welcome to Miss Trisha. Trisha Josephs is my moderator. She helps to answer questions and guide you to the right places. So if you'd like to reach out to her, you can tag her in a post or in a comment by starting with the @ A with the circle around it. So start typing that, and then TRICIA. Her name will pop up. You'll be able to click on it. It will tag her. She'll be able to see it a little bit better. So I'm loving this. I'm seeing all these familiar names pop up. Yay! Thanks, everybody. All right, so these are comments that I highlighted from last week's video. Lots of the ones on the left are basically just, hey, I'm a first timer. I love seeing first time commenters come in, and oh my gosh, it's been so long, or whatever. So it's fun to see when people chime in and they haven't been live with us or for a long time. And then I love reading where you're from. I love reading what you're doing at the same time that you're watching the lives. It's very entertaining, you guys. This is good. Like I eat my meal and I'm reading through them. It's very fun to read through them. And then I take and grab a few of them, because sometimes you ask good questions that stump Trisha, but she got them all last week. She answered them all. And so sometimes I need to address those, but I didn't grab any comments from last week that I think I needed to talk about. It looks like a lot of you were turned on to the kit that I had featured last week, so that was good. It's a wonderful kit, and it's not in any catalog publications. The kits collection is only available online because it's ever changing. So sometimes kits will go, sometimes they'll come back, sometimes they'll go in the morning and then come back during a live. Which is what happened last week. I swear, you guys, I looked in the online store. I think I had looked the night before and the morning of, and that kit was gone in the US. And then I said, I'm going to just demonstrate with it anyways. And then I saw these orders appear, and I'm like, wait a minute, they're getting the kit. And I looked at the comments. That was quite interesting. So anyways, yeah. So just keep watching the online store, because sometimes when an item disappears, it's just that it's not available at that time. But Stampin' Up! Typically likes to replenish all of their stuff, so just keep watching for it. We don't get notices when things come in or out, so you just have to keep your eye on it. And I love it. Carol is Cars Creations, and she wrote that she's buying 3. Very fun. So Darlene made a comment. Let's see here. And Trisha did answer afterwards, but I wanted to mention this too, that yes, Celebration used to be called SELL. And so demonstrators that have been around for a long time still have a hard time switching and saying celebration instead of celebration. It's the wonderful promotion that goes on at this time of the year. And then we also, let's see here, let me know. So maybe they got more. Oh yeah, that was more of the kits coming in. Okay, so on that note, we have a fun card. It's going to be a Z-fold card. You kind of saw a hint of it when you saw the picture from beforehand. So this is what we're making today. And if you tried recreating it before the video, you may have already gotten thrown off a little bit. So I'm going to show you the process that I did in putting this together and creating it actually too. And then let's go over to the computer one more time so that you can see the supplies and so that you can see, and you know what? We might have to make my head smaller. We'll just shrink me and stick it way off to the side here. There we go. So if you want to, you can take a screenshot of this, but I also invite you to come back to my blog. You'll find the link in the description of my video. You can click on that at 12:15 p.m. Central Time. So about an hour after I start, an hour and 15 minutes after I start my live. But you can see I've got imperial and metric measurements, yay! So everybody all over the world can recreate this if they want. And then the supply list is on the right. Not every supply is a must-have. Things like take your pick tools, bone folders, those are luxury items, but they're things that I always use, and so I mention them so that if you want to, you can take and grab those up. This actual sheet is downloadable as a PDF in my blog post, so you don't have to take a screenshot. I've got the date right in there, I've got the title, the photos are right, we're good to go, right? So I'm going to leave that up on my computer, and I think I'm going to switch down onto my desktop. I got to make my head a little bit bigger. Hang on, there we go. Oh, that's way too big. You guys can't see what I'm doing. There. All right. These are the newer publications that I had mentioned. We have the mini catalog, and the picture is really, really close up. Sorry. We have the mini catalog, and then we have the celebration brochure. Celebration is full of freebies. So anything in here you can't purchase, but you can earn. You either have to have a $50 order, or for the level 2 items, you need to have a $100 order, and that's in US. So any other market that Stampin' Up! Is in, Australia, Europe, the prices are different depending on your market. But I want to point out where the Sunshine and Rainbows paper pack is. This is on page 8, and it comes in 6x6 sheets. Really cute, fun, cheerful, and colorful designs. And look at all the fun samples that they've created using the rainbow products from the mini catalog, which is the next thing I'm going to show you. You can also see that there's punched out clouds in here because in this catalog, the mini catalog, the January through June, we've got a cloud punch, and then we've got the rainbow bundle, which is the stamp set and the dies. You can buy them separately, but when you buy them together, you save 10%. And you can see even more samples here on that page using that. So that's 18 and 19, pages 18 and 19. The bundle is $44, or it's going to cost you $49 if you buy them separately, all those things separately. I'm going to move these over here, make sure our trimmer is available. Now let me show you. Here are the dies and the stamps. Fun stuff, right? You got sentiments in here, you have images in here, and it's a builder kind of set. So you can build all different kinds of images by the way that you put these things together. And then we have the dies, and the dies do all different size rainbows. So here's some colorful rainbows that are underneath. But just an example of, you can either use the positive space or the negative space, like you could use it as a window if you'd like to. But those are the dies. And then we have the punch, and the punch is awesome. Think of different ways that you can make this punch look, though. It does not have to just be a cloud. We need to think outside the box, and that's what we're going to do today. And then this is the paper. And again, lots of bright, cheerful colors. 6x6, you get 4 of each of the 12 designs, 48 sheets all together. And these are the flip sides of those papers. Oops, sorry. Have my little description sheet on there. Lots of colors, right? So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on that because in my virtual tour video, I actually go into depth on the products a little bit more. But today we're going to grab this larger die. We're going to grab another punch called the Elegant Tag Punch. You can see the reflection of my phone in there. You can also use the Cloud Punch on this project, and we're going to bring in a different stamp set called Special Moments. Now this one is a free celebration stamp set. You earn it with a $100 order. So if you are planning to place an order after or during this video, you can click on the shop tab underneath in my website if you go to my website. Or if you have another demonstrator, order from them. If you're a demonstrator yourself, order from yourself. I just want people to enjoy these products. Special Moments is the stamp set. It's a wonderful collection of lots of different words. When you look on the inside, you actually have 2 little packs of stamps here. I've already removed this one here. That's the one we're going to use. And I've mounted it onto my clear D-size block, ready to go. We're going to use that with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And that's really all the stamping I'm doing on this card. It's more, there's some ink, there's extra ink involved, but it's not being stamped. And then it's mostly just piecing together the papers because it's a fun fold. All right, so let's shove these off to the side. Let's bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to set it up so that we have our platform number 1, die adapter number 2, a cutting mat, and because I'm going to have my cut go downward, I'm going to put my scratchier one down. That's number 3, and I'm going to sandwich my die and my cardstock or paper between those two. And because I like to crank in this direction, I'm going to start over here. So let's grab our designer paper. My designer paper that I'm using is the Rainbow Glimmer paper, and it comes in 12 by 12 sheets. I've already cut it somewhat so that you can see. You know what? Let's just move this for just a second. I want to lay this out better so you can see it. I've already cut it because if you're going to recreate a bunch of these, which is what I did, I made swap cards with this card. I cranked out 40 some. Then you'll want to cut your paper smart. And so I cut a 3-inch strip off of one end, and it doesn't matter if you want to cut this way first, you can, or cut this way first. And then in this direction, I've got a 9 by 12 piece here. I'm going to cut 3, 3, 3, and 3. So I have 4 strips of 3 in there. And out of one strip, you can actually get 2 of these rainbows. Now there's a trick to doing that. If you cut it this way, you can see where the die cut ends, right around there. It's going to be really hard to get a full rainbow off the other end. But if you think smart here, we've got a rounded corner. So I am going to place my die like this instead so that the rounded corner is in. And then do you see how much here? I've gained even more glimmer paper this way because when I turn it around and go this way, in fact, there's almost like extra. You almost could go shorter than 9 inches. And then I would, do 2 out of each of those. So I get 8 out of this section here and another 2 here. I get 10 from each sheet with just a little bit left over. I'm going to actually cut from this one because I want to have multi-colors and I don't want to die cut this whole piece to get multicolors really fast. I saw that Trisha's answering Nancy's question about why I'm live today. Yes, tomorrow I have a medical appointment. Nothing scary. It's just an endoscopy where they're going to insert a little monitor. It's called a Bravo test. And we're going to find out what's going on inside Rachel's esophagus. Modern medicine, right? Oh, and I already made the mistake. And this is what... Okay, so Nancy and Cheryl, are you laughing at me right now if you're watching? You might be. I wrote myself a note because I did this. I did this earlier. Okay, so stop. And this is actually good. This is good that I did this. Okay, too bad we did it with the blue. I didn't want to do that with the blue. Flip it over. And we're going to do this again. All right, we're die cutting this way. I'm shaking my head. I don't even know what to say. Nancy and Cheryl, seriously, if you're watching, say something. I want to hear you. I want to hear if you're laughing at me. So you want to do this upside down for this particular card design. And I'll show you why soon. So there's one of my rainbows. I need to get another one. So we're going to go ahead and slice off some. I want blue in it. I want blue in this. So we're gonna cut another 3-inch strip. Rachel. All right, there's my blues and greens. I'm a blue and green girl, you guys. You know that, right? So now we're going to turn that over and die cut in this direction. Oops, make sure it's on there. And you can use like sticky notes, which is why I have this also. You can use sticky notes. Oh, flip it over, Rachel. What is she doing? Is this going to be a day of mistakes? We're flipping it over. We're die cutting from the white side. Jeepers creepers. Well, maybe if I do the mistake a bunch of times, you guys will learn from me and you won't ever do it with yours. It's so easy to die cut from the front of your paper because you want to see it. Like you like looking at the pretty side when you're die cutting, right? So now we have our 2 rainbows, and I would actually recommend doing several more unless you're cutting from a strip that looks like this, because you've got all the multiple colors in there. But if you're going in the other direction, if you do 4 of them, then you can interchange those rainbows out. So let us now move this aside. We're going to bring in our card base. And I'm going to cut my card base for this Z-fold next. So the Z-fold card, I decided not to do the typical Z-fold because I wanted more of a surprise when, Diana, I was yelling at you, flip it. I wanted a surprise when you open it up. And if you do a typical Z-fold, it folds back and exposes a little bit too much. You have like a 2-inch wide section, and I didn't want that much showing. So instead, we're gonna go ahead and cut our cardstock in half at 5.5 inches. So I'm at the 5.5 inch mark. And now I'm going to rotate this card base piece, score it at 4.25. That's halfway between 8.5. So instead of going back this far, see how much that exposes? I only wanted to go back a little bit. So I'm going to score this, and I believe it was 1.25. Yes, 1.25 inches. And that's only going to give you a little peek to what's underneath. Okay? So you can do a Z-fold that, you know, has like a 1/2 inch over, or a 1 inch, or, you know, you can do it all the way up to 2 1/8 of an inch in your fold here. But if you go beyond that, then this portion will go beyond your other flap, if that makes sense. All right, let's take our bone folder, our luxury tool, which is not on my desk anymore. And we're going to add some creases. The rainbow paper is super pretty, and it's perfect for this bundle. Some people, when they look at the whole sheet, it can be kind of overwhelming because it's just so much glitter and so much color at once. But taking small sections of it, it's almost like an accessory to your card, like a rhinestone or a jewel of some sort. You can take and just add just like a strip of it underneath something, and it just gives a hint of glimmer. And it's just so pretty. So yeah, so even if you're not like a rainbow glimmer paper person, you can be if you think in small portions of it. Okay, so there's our card base. And I kind of curved it a bit by manipulating it too much. So then I brought in the wrong die cut rainbow. We're going to start with that one. And I said, wouldn't it be fun if when you open the card, you have this rainbow that stretches across the whole thing and kind of goes down like this. So after I die cut this one, I was like, well, how am I going to make that rainbow do that in a cute way, because this looks kind of clunky. And I'm sorry, my fingernails aren't working. And you can see it's kind of like coming in harshly. It doesn't have a nice line over here. And then I thought, well, okay, let's take that whole rainbow and let's flip. Oh. And then I was like this. I'm like, oh, wow. Now this might work. And actually there was a card I made earlier that that gave me this hint a little bit quicker than what I'm showing you now. But can you see now it's coming in more of like a straight line, right? It can have a straight edge if we push it here. It's coming in more of a straight way and then down. So you have to flip your rainbow over when you die cut in order to get that look. So that's where these guys come in. Okay, so there you can kind of see the shape of it. So we're going to use this style rainbow. We're going to use let's use this one, and let's use this one, and then shove those out of the way. And then from this one we'll use the longest and this one here. There we go. Now we've got some pinks, some purples, some greens, some blues in there. All right, so I needed a card insert piece like this. And before I added the rainbow, I said, oh, it needs some clouds too. So I brought in my inks, Coastal Cabana, and my blending brush. Opened this up, punched out some clouds. Actually that one, yeah, they both have a little bit of adhesive on them. So I punched out some clouds just from some basic white cardstock. So you just take your cloud punch. You know, you've got now a template. And we do have a set of dies that are some edge dies. Let me pull those. See if I can find them. Here they are. The basic borders dies, this one here is really great to use with the rainbow products too, because it creates kind of that cloud look. And it might be quicker to make your little cloudy sky look with that than these, but we're going to do it with these just because this is what we brought in. So I've got them punched in two different directions, just in case, you know, like just flip it over. That's all you have to do is flip it over. But one I've already started coloring with. I ended in a preposition, sorry. Okay, we're going to run the color on here just to get the darkness off. And now we've got just, you know, less color on here. I'm going to go ahead and start on the cloud and gradually just kind of move towards the edge and go like that. Look at that. Do you see that? What it did? So we're creating, and you want to start up even higher. I started a little lower, but you start up higher and then you move down as you do it. And it gives you this gradual fluffy cloud look. Now let's go ahead and take this one facing the other direction, and we'll just do a little bit here. And let's do a little bit over here. And maybe one more down here. Actually, that one is probably going to get covered up. I don't know why I did it down there. That one I think is going to get covered up. Oh, let me look on my finished one. Oh, I know what I did. I did some over here. Let's do one over there. Yes, the day of mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. I'm a real crafter, just like you guys. So there's our very faint, light, fluffy cloud sky background. So told you I was going to use inks. That is Coastal Cabana. And then this is a blending brush, which I've identified with my Coastal Cabana little label, so that I always use it with my Coastal Cabana ink because I'm just that way. But you can just assign your blending brushes to be blue, green, yellow. You know, you can save money and not buy one for every color like I do. Okay, so now that I've got that, and I could have done some on here too, I'm going to stretch my rainbow from this section to this section. So then I said to myself, I got to make a pot. Okay, so we're going to bring in some black cardstock now, and I just have a scrap here. And we're going to use our pot as a guide as to where the rainbow is starting. I want my pot to be a strip that will fit in here. So this from here to here is 1 3/4 inches from this section to here. So I want to go a little less than 1 3/4 inches. Here's my 1 3/4 inch mark. I'm not going to go to the 16th inch, but I'm just going to go right between those two marks and slice it here. It's going to allow for me to add it into my punch a little bit easier. And then I did the hard work for you. I did the hard work, and I already know that 3 3/4 inches in this direction is going to make the best size pot for our pot of gold. So 3 3/4 by just a smidge under 1 3/4 inches. If you get it right at 1 3/4 inches, I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's just easier if you have it a little bit less. So I've opened up my punch, and I'm going to insert my paper. See what I'm doing here? I'm not going this way because I don't want to punch out the elegant tag punch as is. I want to just have this on one end, and I'm pushing it all the way in as far as it'll go because there is a stopper there. So it'll make your cardstock not go any further. And then we'll punch that, and then we'll let that piece fall out, and we'll do the same thing to the other end. So we're inserting it all the way and punching. And now we have this pot. Now we need the gold. The gold! Yay, the gold, the gold! Here we go. So now we grab our cloud punch, and we punch our gold. And because I want just a little bit more in there, I'm going to flip my paper over and I'm going to punch again. I think I punched it about, well, we'll just go in here. I think I punched, where did I punch this one? So let me peek here. I'm cheating. I'm cheating. I think I punched it like this, just to get a different look. Okay, then I flip this one back the other direction, so that you can see just kind of a different fluffiness. So now I have gold. Did I do this right? I don't know. I'm cheating. Yep, I did. Okay. So yeah, I have one going one direction, one going the other direction, but you could have them both go in the same direction. But now you've got your gold coins all kind of, fluffy looking inside your pot. So let's go ahead and add those. Seal. Here it is. So we're going to put some adhesive on the back side here, right towards the top. We're going to add this fluffy amount of coins there, and then we'll add a little bit more seal, and we'll add this cloud right like that, and it fits like perfectly. It's so amazing. Isn't that a fun pot of gold and super easy to make? So that's your pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So then I laid out, and I'm just going to flatten this down. I laid these pieces down, and I said, let's build that rainbow again. And let's just kind of work with the smallest and the biggest piece here, because we know everything else is going to fit in between. So I want to make sure that this edge went right to this edge, and this edge went right to this edge. So that means my pot of gold had to be tucked in just a little bit into that crevice, and I was fine with that, and that's what I went with. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add these pieces here, but we're going to add them so that our cardstock is right next to each other, because that's going to stretch our rainbow out just a little bit. In fact, I almost called this whole thing stretch rainbow card, because you're stretching it just another like 1/4 of an inch. It's going to go even bigger. So we're going to add that here, and we're going to look and make sure we've got our pot of gold height okay. Okay, now I mass produced a bunch of these, and so my little tip to you, if you're going to mass produce a bunch of these, is to hang on to the first one you did, and then you lay your cardstock. Let's just peel this one away for a minute here. It didn't get pressed down all the way yet. So you lay your cardstock here, one of them, whether it's this one being your guide and this one being what you stick on, or this one being your guide, which is what I'm using now, and this one being the one you stick on. So then what you do is you take and place that right next to it, and you stick just this portion down onto this strip here. And once you've stuck those all down, in fact, I'm going to do that and see if I lined it up really well. You can make like exact duplicates. It's pretty cool. So I'm just going to do that all the way down on this and see what happens. I don't know if my first one I added is lined up with these or not, but we can always move it if we have to. But at least you know how I got started with it too. So see what I did here? I added them all on like that. And after that was done, I laid this one next to it. And oh, look at that. Pretty darn close. So there they are. I could probably bring this in a little bit, but I'm not gonna. It's good. It's good. And then you would just take and add adhesive onto the back sides of these, which I probably should have done before I stuck that one down. Rachel. Yep, day of mistakes. There we go. So now your cardstock is stuck together. What do? You can either do this, which you can only do if you have a really good eye, or you can bring in your scissors, your snips, and cut just right down the middle. So this is what I did with them, because I was making 40 plus. I lined this little spot here in the channel of my trimmer, and I wiggled it until I could feel it go into there. There, now it's in, and I sliced just like that. It made it go super fast, but you could also just go like this and just line up your snips and cut between. Especially if you're making just one card, you know, and you're not doing it super fast. This is a very, very clean way of doing it too. You've got your rainbow in 2 different pieces now. And you can see when we add this that we've got 1/8 of an inch to the left of it over here. And then we've also got 1/8 of an inch to the right of this one, giving us 1 more 1/4 of an inch of stretch. So our rainbow looks bigger, right? And then I needed a sentiment. And the sentiment was going to go onto this part here. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if it just kind of like fell into the flow of the rainbow? So let's stamp that piece. Here's our Memento Black. We're inking this up. And I did use my my stamparatus. See, demonstrators that have been around for a long time always think of names that don't exist anymore. And then, yep, I have this. Ooh, Rachel didn't make a mistake there. Then you can see right through it and stamp down. But if you're going to do mass producing, the stamparatus is awesome for that. You see how I'm holding it down for a long time? You see that I'm not rocking it? There we go. This is going to get mounted onto a piece of gold foil, which you could certainly punch a cloud from the... No, you couldn't. You couldn't do that because you're going to see the back side of part of this. Never mind, don't do that. Okay. I thought I was going to save you on paper, but don't do that. So then this is going to get placed here. And I recommend putting the adhesive on this rather than this because, you know, it might be, I don't know, either way. But put it down here so that it's going to be in that spot. See where that is? There's the rainbow. And it's going to go right around this section. So we're going to put the adhesive down here. We're going to fold it back up. And then we're going to add this so that this edge here lines up. I am really far away from the camera, aren't I? Sorry. So that this edge, white edge, lines up with this gold edge. And then the only trick is getting it straight. So then you want to flip it this way and make sure it's not tilted looking. And that's stuck down, and then when you open it up, it flows right into the rainbow. Pot of gold, you can either, I mean, you could add it on dimensionals, but I think it's going to add a little bit of poof into the middle of your card. So I did just place mine straight down, like so. And I left a little bit of white on the bottom, but you could bring it all the way to the bottom if you want to. And I just made sure that this rainbow edge and this rainbow edge looked like they were within. Then the clouds, because we've already punched one, we need a couple more, which I've done. Then you need some extra clouds, and we're going to add those to this spot. Now, when we close the card, you can see we've got some stuff peeking out here still. Can you imagine if I had folded this back even further? So because of that, we're going to cover that up with our clouds. We're going to take and add a cloud in this spot here. And I think I'm going to bring it as far over as I can, maybe right about there. And then this cloud here, we're going to add on dimensionals, which I know I have. I probably put them away. I swear, I was here in my room this morning going through everything, and I thought I had it all ready. I don't know. Maybe somebody came in and put it away for me. My husband would do that in any other portion of the room or of the house, but he does not touch this room. He definitely cleans up after me, though. It's kind of sad. Okay, then we're going to go like this, and you can see how we're covering up that last section there, but we're also making this cloud come over a little bit further. And then this one here, we're just going to put right at the top and kind of add it so it looks more balanced. Probably like so. So there is that. Fun. And then we need an embellishment because Rachel likes to add even more glitz than just the glimmer. So we're going to grab these are called Gilded Gems. And we do have ones that are blue, like two tones of blue, and I don't know, I think they should make silver Gilded Gems. I just love the shape of these. I love that they look like a rhinestone, like they have a rhinestone shape, I guess is what I'm saying. They've got those little faceted parts on them. So they're just fun. So we're going to start with the biggest one. We're going to push it off onto our Take Your Pick tool, and we're going to stick it right down here. And then we're going to grab our medium-sized one and stick it right next to it. And we'll grab a small one and put it up here at the top. So we've got some embellishment on the front, but definitely the inside of the card is the part that just makes you go, wowza, right? So yay! And you could give this to a kid, you could give this to anybody, male, female. It's one of those cards, kind of like last week. I heard a lot of people mentioning that. It's a great card for all ages, and you know, everybody will enjoy this look. So it's just a happy, cheerful, colorful card. So let us take a peek at those closed and open on my desktop. That was fun. All right, do we have them up there? This floral paper, by the way, you can obtain. It is something you can purchase in the online store if you're interested. I'm going to put this in here too, just another pot of gold because it's so cute. So I have other samples to share with you. Oh, and I have to talk about my clothing. I did not have the greenish bluish color called Coastal Cabana in clothing that I could wear today, but I thought this was fitting in that if you look at it, it looks like it has a little gold. It's more copper up close, but it looks like it's sky and kind of gold going through it. So I just thought that was kind of fun. It's a different blue, sorry. It's close though. It's a sort of. You would do one more cloud, maybe take the bottom cloud right side and have it flip over the one above. Yeah, you can, oh, I got messies on there. Yeah, you can adjust however you want. Always, I love it when people, you know, when I used to teach in-person classes, I would have a card design and someone would take and use their creative mind and twist it and do it in a different way. That was always fun to see. And every time I create a card, I think, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. So please feel free when you take my ideas to twist them into whatever works for you. I have lots of other samples to show you, okay? So I'm going to take these and move these off to the side, and we're going to bring in the mistake cards first. We'll start with those. So I had brought all of these supplies with me on a retreat that I went on with Cheryl and Nancy, which is why I brought their names up. We went on a Silver Elite retreat, and I was working on these swap cards and die cut all my rainbows in the wrong direction. So, as you can see here, they're all going the wrong direction. So I could not finish my swap cards. Cheryl had some extra rainbow paper that she loaned me, and I finished my swaps in time. But yes, put together these cards with the help of Teresa Glow. My assistant, she came to my house and helped me mass produce these, and this was the original that I designed for that. So super simple, but just a cute card. This is using our Mother of Pearl paper, also a new product. This is our something, art is in there somewhere. Anyways, they're the sequins, artistic something, yeah. They're sequins, and they're self-adhesive, and they come in 4 different colors, but they kind of have like this multicolor look to each one. So when you put them next to certain colors, sometimes they take on a certain glow, right? So that's what I did with those extra rainbows. Came back from last weekend, just 2 days ago, we had an event in Medina, Minnesota, and this was my name tag from it. I just had to show you. It's super cute. I'm sure Terry Gaines created those name tags. Aren't they adorable? So cute. But yes, I got a swap card, and this swap card is from Leanne. I want to say your name is Fumus. I hope that's how you pronounce it, Leanne Fumus. But she did one of these kinds of little cards that looks like it's a, I don't know, a little display card. Little rainbow, not rainbow, sorry, clouds on here, but it looks like she put a wink of Stella on them. So just a fun take on the rainbow products. This is one of the swap cards that I shared in my virtual tour video. This was made by Leslie Francis, a demonstrator in my group. Isn't that beautiful? Lots of different elements to that card. And then here are 2 other swap cards that are pretty darn recent. From my group also. This is Janet Russell's card, and this one is Rose Carey's card, also using some of the rainbow products. And I will whiz through some other samples here really quick. These are ones that I shared in the virtual tour video. How do you get a hold of the virtual tour video? It's going live today. I've got it in my blog post so you can see it. And I will make it public after I'm done with this live so that you can search for it too on my channel if you want. But it's a video that I created to be a part of a virtual tour of the catalog group. So myself and 10 other demonstrators in my group, we each focused on certain products, and we did a video to highlight those new products. We have tons of samples, which I'm going to show you just now, in our videos. One of those samples was a premiere sample, I should say, that we give measurements, supply lists, and extra photos to in a PDF document. You can earn that PDF document by placing a $50 order through me using one of my host codes, or the order can be $150 or more without using a host code, and I will gift that PDF to you. The PDF includes links to all the demonstrators' videos. So anyways, here's the first sample that I share in it. Kind of fun, using some of the gilded leafing in there. Here's another one. I used the same rainbow because I made it twice, but I made it into a fun fold card, which is an easel, and it sits either on the gift card that's in the pocket, or if the gift card is not in the pocket, it sits like that. Now, all these cards that I'm whizzing through right now, I do explain in the video, which you will have access to. I don't explain the measurements and all that, but I explain them enough. This is a case of a Mary Fish card, slightly different than hers, but not much. Her card was just stunning, and I had to make one of my own. Beautiful. And then this is one where I had to make a blue sky with it, but I wanted to use our splatter embossing folder for the background, just to give it more of a wet look, because, rain, rainbows. So there's that. And then this is a Z-fold card. This was one that I just loved making. Super fun to make. Again, the idea of covering up parts of it, and then the clouds reveal even more. Thank you. And then here is a case from the catalog. This one actually came straight from the catalog. In fact, Sarah Douglas, the CEO of Stampin' Up, is pictured on that layout, and there's a bunch of these cards in there. It's just a really fun spread to look at in the catalog. Here is my first rainbow card that I made using that idea of the pot of gold. And this pot of gold is filled with gold coins that look more coinage looking, because they have They were cut from this die, but it was just a little bit putzier to do. This is the one that comes in the Brilliant Rainbow dies. But it was putzier to do, and then I had to shift them and line them up. And so I decided at that point I was going to make it easier, and that's where I pulled in the Cloud Punch. So this is the second card I did. Added more of those gilded gems down there for little coins that fell out of the pot. Here's the third one I did, layered up, just, you know, a little bit more. And then I decided to do a horizontal one, and that's when I came up with the idea of turning the paper upside down to get the rainbow coming in this way, like that. So very simple card. I did some thinking. Oh, here, I'll show you this one next. Then I grabbed this fun little box. This debuted in the last mini catalog, and it was with the gingerbread and peppermint stuff. Gingerbread, was it called gingerbread and peppermint? Gingerbread and peppermints, I think. I don't remember. But it was showing, you know, on those pages. And I thought, I love this look here because it kind of looks like a fluffy cloud. So I took and just played around, stamped a rainbow in weird colors. It was just fun. Oh, that's where that ink came from. It's been on my thumb. And then I added some Wink of Stella on the top of the colored parts of the rainbow. Added some iridescent rhinestones on the side just for opening up the box. Yeah, cute, cute, cute. I thought outside the box, which means I looked at my stamp set a little bit differently. So let's bring in this stamp set again. And I said, oh, this kind of looks like rays of a sunshine. So this next to this and covered up in a discreet way so that you don't see this underneath can be a little sunshine peeking out from behind the clouds. So then I got the cloud stencil idea out with those little fluffy clouds where you use the blending brush. Yep, that was fun. And then this one also thinks outside the box, and it's because I turned my stamp set upside down and decided we had smiles in there. This is the Cactus Builder Punch to make the eyes. 1, 2, 3. All three of these things are from the Cactus Punch. And here's a little hint of more glimmer paper that we have. This is our, is it our specialty ombre glimmer paper? I'm going to pull this aside here. This is our yellowish orangish sheet. And then this card was fun. I made more of these with the mother of pearl paper, some paper from the celebration offering. These clouds are punchable from that sheet. And then this is from that one of those sheets as well. I'm peeking real quick here, seeing if I have, oh, never mind. Okay, so then I just did a bunch of them because I punched out a bunch of those clouds, right? So the clouds can go in different directions. And this is leading up to the card that was highlighted in my, like the main feature in my virtual tour PDF contribution. So then I made this card, which is kind of a step up from it. So it's more of a fun fold. And then this is the one that is featured in the PDF. So again, each one of our demonstrators has a fun little card, a fun card that they've shared in that PDF with more detail. So if you're interested, you can still earn or you can purchase the PDF. I did do some changes to my blog recently. In fact, just yesterday it was finalized. So let me see if I can pull that up here. I'm going to show you where you can access, hang on, where you can access the, I'm in my editing stage, but that's okay. We're going to go to shop and we're going to click on tutorials. So this is where you can access the virtual tour PDF if you want. And it is right here in my new store of tutorials. I'm so excited. Much easier to look at than the old way. So check it out. All right, we have prizes to get to next. Are you guys enjoying January? It's cold here in Minnesota. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was something I was going to do too. I need to, before I do that, I need to pull up some names. You guys can't see this. Okay, so I'm going to shout out to, and I think you say it, Ilam San Martin. Your name was drawn on December 15th. You did reach out to me via email, but I conversed back with you. I sent you another email back saying, what do you want? You only told me one item, and you got one item, you got to pick two. I deleted your email thinking that you would reach out to me again, but I have not heard from you since. So Ilem St. Martin, ILEM. And then another winner drawn on December 29th, Holly Hold. I've heard from you, but not heard what you want yet. You gave me your address, but I don't know what you're picking. So please reach out to me again. Drawn 2 weeks ago on January 12th, we had Nell. She was an Afterlive winner. You get a tutorial of your choice. Nell da Silva. And then Patricia Weed, you were drawn also that day. You get a celebration set of your choice. So make sure that you are reaching out to me so that I can. And how do you reach out to me, Rachel? There's my email. And then last week, Sandy Kaluk, I think that's how you say it, Kulik. You get a celebration stamp set of your choice as well. So I can't give these things to you if you don't connect with me. All right, going back to prizes. The prizes. What were last week's prizes, Rachel? Let me show you. We're going to move back to the desk. And so last week's prize winners got dimensionals and a clear block, and then a stamp set of their choice from kits that I tend to buy too many of. So I have all of these unused stamp sets. These are the two that are remaining. The two winners that were drawn by Trisha last week did reach out to me and grabbed up their sets. So let me know what you'd like if your name is the one that I'm going to show with you right now. This is from the After Live commenters, the people who comment within that week on my video after the live. And the winner is Rita Montero. Congratulations to you. Please reach out to me at my email address so that I can connect with you and get you your prize. Remember, you get to pick your stamp set of your choice from that pile that I just shared. And then this week's winners, we'll go back to the desktop. This week's winners get a pack of the Celebration Rainbow of Happiness. Oh, Sunshine and Rainbows. Sorry. Sunshine and Rainbows designer paper. You get a full unopened pack of that. So let us peek to see. I am so bad about catching when Trisha shares the winners. We time it because there's like this delay. So she may have announced the winners already. She may not have. If she has, oh, there it is. So Tony Shaw. Oh my gosh, Tony, you're a winner. And did you win before? She's lucky. She's a lucky girl. And Michelle's Stamping. I think this is one of your first time, Michelle, because I don't think I've seen your name pop up before. Congratulations to you both. In fact, to all three of you. Please reach out to me at my email address so I can get these to you. And oops, I'm looking around. I think I shared everything I needed to share. We still have celebration going on. So free pick with every $50 or $100 worth of product that you purchase. I mentioned the virtual tour. Starter kits still going on through the end of February. You get to pick 2 stamp sets of your choice in addition to already the fabulous starter kit. So if there's a wish list of stamps that you have, this is the time to do them. Get them on a starter kit. It's a great deal. On that note, I'm going to let you all go. It is, again, Tuesday today, but next week we'll go back to our Wednesday schedule. Tomorrow I'm having my little medical procedure, and it's not going to do any damage to me. So, but I do welcome any well wishes because, it's a procedure. Thank you to everybody, and it will be what day next week? It's going to be February next week. February 2nd? Yes, February 2nd, Wednesday, February 2nd at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.